Hi, I'm Sally and this is the tutorial for my garden gnome charm. You will need a flesh coloured band for his face and his hands, 2 black bands for his eyes, a hat colour, a top colour, a buttons colour, a colour for his trousers and for his shoes. So there's 2 I've done, so you can see the difference in colours and things. So let's make a start. So taking your loom, standard configuration like this, arrows pointing towards you. First of all, because with his hat he's slightly too long for the loom, we're going to make his sort of from his waist down first, and then we're going to go back and make his top half. So taking whatever colour you're using for his trousers, and I think I'm going to use orange. So start at the top of your loom and you are going down on each side with 2 bands together, double bands on each side once, like so. And we're going to go down on each side a total of 6 times. So then another 5 on each with his fluorescent orange trousers, or whatever colour you decide that you want to do. Oh, my bands are all stuck together. Please excuse my noisy guinea pig. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Like that, and there's his legs. Now we're going to go down in the centre once with whatever colour you are using for his top. So I think I'm going to use, decisions, turquoise. Let's use turquoise. Once for his top, and then again with the colour you're using for his trousers, you are going to go down twice, like so. So this is what you should have so far. So you've gone down 6 on each side for his legs with 2 bands together with double bands, and then 3 times in the middle, the top one being his top colour. Okay, and we're going to place cap bands on here. I'm going to use brown for his shoes. So just taking a single band and you're going to wrap it around the pin 3 times. So you're wrapping it around the pin at the bottom of the legs. Okay, so I'm going to do it again here. Single band 3 times, like so. And now we're going to place on some triangle bands. So taking the colour that you use for your trousers, on the 4th pin up, so where you've done your cap band is the 1st pin, 2nd, 3rd, 4th pin there, you're going to place your triangle band there, go round the last one that you've laid bands in the centre, and then back, so it's horizontally the same, so it's like that. So you're not actually going straight across, you're hooking it around this pin. Okay, and then we're going to place a triangle band above that, and then the same again above that. So this is what you should have so far. So you've had your band that goes around the pin here, and then 2 triangle bands above it, like this. And then we're going to begin to loop. So taking your hook, you're going inside the cap band where the shoe is, and looping up and going all the way up to the top. going inside the horizontal bands, and that one's trying to slide off, so we're just going to push it back up. There we go. So I've hooked all the way up to the end. I'm going to do the same this side, so exactly the same, in through that cap band, pushing it back with the back of your hook, around and all the way up. To the top. And then in the centre, you're just going to take this pin, these bands here, the ones that right at the bottom, your trouser coloured ones, and you're just going to loop it straight forward, so it goes over the top of this band that went around the pin. So you're just hooking it straight forward, and then hooking the next one forward, and the top colour forwards. So you have this. And then we're going to remove it from our loom. I'm going to place it onto a holding hook. You can use a toothpick or anything that you have to hand that will hold it. If you place it on the bottom of your loom, you'll find, if you place it down here, you'll find that it will get in your way later. So if you can, place it to one side on a hook or spare loom or whatever you have. You just place it on the end of a fork, just on the handle. We'll do the same thing. And there we have his very bright and shiny trousers. Whoops. So he's a little bit twisted, he needs a bit of stretching out, but I'll do that once he's finished. So this is what you have for his feet and his legs. So we're going to place this to one side, and we're going to make his hat and his face and his top. So the first thing we are going to make are his arms. So you're going to take 2 bands of the colour you're using for your top, and you're going to go down 5 times on each side. So 1, oh, can't get hold of the bands, 2, 4 and 5. Then taking a single skin colour band, whatever colour you're using. I'm using a sort of pale pink colour. And you're just going to cap this off using that band. So single band right round 3 times, and this will be his hand coming out of his sleeve. I'm going to do exactly the same down this side, so this is what it looks like. So just 5 times with 2 bands, and then cap it off with a skin coloured band. If you want to do a different colour, if you want him to be wearing gloves or whatever, then that's fine, whatever is to your taste. So we're going down. Five times again. 4 and 5. Again, skin coloured band to cap it off, so just wrap that around your pin. Like so. So here's his arms. Should look like that. And we're just going to loop those up, so in through that flesh coloured cap band, whatever colour you're using. And you're just looping straight up to the top as if it were a bracelet. So just normal looping. And same again. Just in and looping up. So once they're all looped up, you can take these off, place them on your holding hook, although these can go at the end of your loom because we can place them on before we get to the bottom. So I'm just going to pop these at the bottom of my loom for now. So I have 2 arms down here now. So now we can start to make his hat. So I am going to do his hat. Let me see. Is it green? Blue. We'll go green. I think we're going to go green. So I'm just going to place 2 bands over this top pin and just let them hang. And then 2 more bands, and we're going from the top centre pin, first centre pin, to the side second pin on both sides. And I will show you in just a second if I just do the other one, and then you can see what it should look like if you're not sure. Whoops. So it should look like this. So it's going slightly steeper than just a normal diagonal. So it's like that. And then on the end here, we're going to place a band, just so you get the point on the hat. It just sort of accentuates it. So taking your hook and 3 of your hat coloured bands, you're just going to wrap this band around your hook 3 times, like this, and then taking the other 2 bands, place them on the end of your hook, hold them with your finger, and just slide that wrap band onto the double bands. Place the other 2 loops back onto your hook and centre that cat band as much as you can so it hangs straight. And then we're going to stretch this out, and we're going to put this over this top pin here. So just stretch it out and place it over, and that just helps to give the little point on the hat. So now we're going to carry on putting the bands on for the hat. So we're going to go down, oh excuse me, voice has gone all funny today. We're going to go down 3 times with 2 bands on each side. So 3 times on this side and 3 times on the other side. So it should look like that. Whoops! So you've got them going down 3 times on each side after the diagonal bands. And then in the centre, we're going to go down 5 times with 2 bands together. So you just place it on top of that wrapped band there. 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there's your gnome's hat. I'm going to move on now and place the bands for his face. So taking double of your skin coloured bands, going to go down the face 2 times. So twice on each side with 2 bands. And in the centre, we are going to go down 3 times in the centre. Oops. The bands are being mischievous today. Sorry, no, not 3 times. 2 times. 2 times. I'm lying to you. I do apologise. So twice on each side and twice in the middle of your skin coloured bands. Now for his beard, I'm using white, and we're going to go down again 2 times on each side with 2 white bands. So the 2 bands are together, and on the other side. Like so. And then in the centre again, twice. To go down 2 times. And then once you have this, if you can see because the bands are quite light, we are going to take 2 bands and we're going to go from this side pin here where we finished laying our bands to the centre, and then from the centre out to the other side. So we're just closing off the beard and the face. We're going to make his eyes in a moment. Whoops, drop my band. And we're going to place a cap band on this pin here. So single band wrapped 3 times. More if your bands are extra stretchy, and push that down as well. I'm going to go and make his eyes. So taking, let's place this to one side for a moment. Taking 2 single black bands and 1 of the same colour you've done the face, and we are wrapping this around 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and the same with the other one. So don't place them on together, place them separately. So you have 2 wrap bands on your hook like this. And then we're going to take our single band of our face colour on the end of your hook and hold it with your finger. And we're just going to slide these 2 wrapped bands over your hook and onto that single band. Like so. And we're going to place this across your loom, and we're going across the 6th pin. So if you count down from the top, the 6th pin on the side and the one directly opposite it on the other side, and they're going to go straight across on there. Separate the eyes out, and then taking your hook, you're going to go between these 2 bands that are between the eyes. You can see there, and we're just going to lift that one over that pin, and that will act as the triangle band on those 3 pins, as well as holding the eyes in place. So now we're going to do the top. So taking 2 of your top coloured bands, we're going to go diagonally out from where you've placed your cap band on the beard and out diagonally to the side. I'm going to do the same the other side. And then we're going to go down the loom on each side until we get to the bottom. And what we can do is, if you have your arms on the bottom of your loom, if you just place 1 lot on each side, like so, if they're on a holding hook, then you can go ahead and do them down to the bottom, that's fine. But I've placed 1 lot of bands going down here, and now I'm going to place the arms on. So the arms are going at this point here, so you've got your beard here, the top colour bands coming out, and it's just on the end of that diagonal band once you've already placed the vertical band on. So I'm going to do the same with the other arm. Like so. And now I'm going to carry on and lay my bands to the end of my loom. So you should have gone down a total of 3 times with the top colours. Whoops-a-daisy. And the loom also has a mind of its own today. Now if you want to have buttons down his front, I will show you how to do that. If you don't, you can just go ahead and lay your bands just in a solid colour. But if you want bands like this, you can see I've used like a neon fluorescent yellow colour. I'll show you how to do that now. So taking your top colour and whatever colour you want to use for his buttons, I'm going to use black, I think. No, I'm going to use blue. Change my mind, using blue. So you want to lay just 1 single band on your loom going straight. The second band will have a wrapped band on it. So taking the colour you're using for your button, wrapping that around your hook 3 times, just as we've just done for the eyes, like so. And then taking another of your top colour on the end of your hook and hold it with your finger and just slide those bands onto the single band, and then just place it over the top of the single band on there. So you've now got, whoops, came off my hook. and it's completely come undone, so I'm just going to quickly do this again. If you want your buttons to be smaller, you can use doubled over bands as well, but I'm keeping mine quite big on this design. So then you will have double bands on this, between these two pins. You want smaller buttons, you can just do this, stretch it out, cross it over, double it, then wrap it twice around your hook, and that will give you a smaller button. I'm going to keep mine big. So doing the same again, wrapping it around your hook 3 times, single band, pull it over, and I'm going to make the last button as well. So I've just doubled the other end back onto the hook to hold it. So I'm going to make this one as well. So 3 times around your hook, taking one of the top colour and sliding those bands onto the hook. Now we're going to place a single of the top coloured band on our loom. Take however is easiest for you to do it. I find it easier to use my fingers, but if you find it easier to use your hook, then use your hook. And then the last one, so single band. So you're using a single band and then adding one of the ones with the wrap band on, and then moving down to the next one. Don't just lay all of the single bands out and then go back and do the wrap bands, because when you come to loop it, it won't loop correctly, and you'll find that when you pull it off, you'll have loose bands or it'll fall apart. So you need to do one lot at a time. Although I know it is tempting just to put all the single bands on first. So once we've got our gnome's hat and face and beard, top with his arms and buttons, if you've chosen to put buttons on, we can add on now his legs. So taking them from your holding hook or fork or whatever you've had them on, you just want to take 4 loops at a time and place them over whichever pin they need to go on. So for instance, I'm taking the first ones, which are leg ones, stretching them out and just placing them over the bottom side pin, and then the 2 that are the same colour as your top will go around the centre pin. So I'm going to stretch that out and put that over my centre pin. Just careful to try and keep the other ones on your loom, and then the ones that are still on your hook will go on the last of the side pins. So you should have 4 little loops on each pin, and it should look like that. And it looks a little bit like he's crossing his legs, but it's just because he's so stretched out, and once the tension's gone in these bands, then it'll be alright once it's all taken off. So there we go, it looks like he's dancing. So now we're going to place on some holding bands, some horizontal, triangle, however you like to call them. So we're going to place the first one across these 3 pins here. Sorry, you couldn't see that, my hand was completely in the way. This pin, and this pin. So it's just going to go like so, if you can see, across those pins down here. And then we're going to work our way up the top. So placing another triangle band across the 3 pins above that. Same again, across the 3 pins above that. Oops. Pushing down your bands. Don't worry about putting one across here, they'll be absolutely fine. And then we're moving on to use white bands. So we're going to place one across his beard, above, so you've got the cap band on this pin here, and then 3 above that I have a triangle band on, and then the 3 above that again with white, and you're switching to use your flesh coloured bands, and you're placing 1 flesh coloured band above the 2 on the beard. So I'll show you. So on the top you've got 3 triangles, on the beard you have 2, on the face you have 1 plus your eye band, and now we're going to move on and put the ones on the hat. So taking a single band, this is all single bands now, placing it across, so it goes on the 3 pins above where you've placed above where you've placed your eyes, if I can get my words out, and then you're just working your way up. So you've got a total of 4 triangles on your hat, like so. And then this bit here is just as it is. So once you're at this stage, with your triangles on, we can begin to loop up. So taking your hook, you're going in through the trousers, finding the 2 bottom of the top coloured bands, and we're hooking them up. So it's like this. So you're not hooking any other bands other than the bottom 2 of the top, whatever colour your top is, those bands. And I'm going to work all my way up now this side to this pin here. So we're like this, and I'm going to work my way up the other side. So going in through the trousers, that's something you say every day. Looping up inside all of the triangle bands. You don't want to be looping those, you're only looping the bottom 2 bands. And in through the arm, pushing the arm out of the way, just the bottom 2, and into the centre. And I'm going straight up the centre, so just pulling this part back, finding the bottom 2 on that centre pin, like that, and you're looping in front of the buttons, but don't worry, you will see them when it's finished. So once his top's all looped up, it should look like this. And now I'm going to show you how to do the beard. The first part of this is quite fiddly and difficult to see, so I apologise if my hand gets in the way, but I'll do my best. What you will need to do is place your hook through this pin, find the top 2 white bands that isn't the cat band. So whichever ones from these 3 pins that go into this pin, onto this pin, whichever ones you laid last will be the first ones you hook. So if you work out which ones they are, for me, I do believe it's the ones on the side. So I'm going down through this pin, inside the cat band, pushing all of the bands back, and getting the bottom, those top 2. I'm just going to try and pull it so it's moving so I can see, but it's not the easiest thing to do. I think I've got them. And if you find there is a lot of tension on this pin and you're worried about your band snapping, take your hook and just run it around the inside of this pin, inside all of the bands, and it'll just help to loosen them up for you. Then going back inside this pin and taking the next top 2. The second ones are always easy, it's the first ones that are the most difficult, because then you've got a little gap so you can see. And then the last 2, fewer bands for you to fight your way through. And looping forwards. So now you've got that little fan shape made of teardrops, like that. And now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to loop up all the way up to the top of his hat, and you're just following the bands where they go. So when you get to this really steep diagonal one, just loop it from this pin and onto this pin. So you're going inside all bands, so inside the triangle bands, just loop them forwards. This bit's easy now. And we're nearly done. All being well. So you're just going like that. I'm going to go up the centre. Going between the eyes, pushing the eye band out of the way, all the way up. suppose you could also use this design as an elf if you wished. I don't know, maybe garden gnomes are a little bit more English, I'm not sure how they fare in other parts of the world, but it might be quite an English thing. We have them in our garden, so they're meant to be little helpers in the garden gnomes. Ooh, and all the way up to the top. So once we're all looped up like this, with no vent underneath, and everything's looped in the correct way, you can tie it off. So, taking these bands here that we placed on at the very beginning, you're going to place your hook down, find those two bands and bring them around your pin. Again, if they're tight, then you can loosen them using your hook inside the band and placing both ends on your hook. Then taking the top pair over the bottom pair, take it slightly to the side because you've got that little bobbly bit on top of his hat, and pull tight and make a slip knot, like so. And once he's tied off, you can remove him from your loom. Use a different hook to take it off. Just mind that your buttons don't catch on the pins. He's looking quite funky in his bright orange trousers. Okay. So once he's off of your loom, just make sure that these two bands at the top that you used to tie it with are secure and they're as tight as you can pull them. You can hide these if you wish. So if you just take your hook, I'm not going to do it, but I will show you how to. And you can just take your hook through some of the bands at the back, like so, and just hook these and pull them through. And you just repeat that until they're hidden. I'm going to leave mine loose. You can leave him loose so he can be hung, if you wish to hang him. So give him a little tug out his hat and his face and his legs and everything, his arms. It's not scrunched up or curly or anything, and there we have our gnome in his funky trousers. So I hope you've enjoyed making him. I do think he's quite sweet, but I do love gardening as well, so it sort of combines both of my obsessions, for want of a better word, I guess. So if you've enjoyed making him and you love the design, click like, comment in the box below, let me know what you think of this and the tutorial. Click subscribe to be notified when I bring out new tutorials, which I'm working quite hard at and adding as many as I can, as time will allow and family will allow as well. I am on Twitter @Sally'sLooming if you'd like to request any or share pictures of your finished designs with me. You can also do that on Instagram, again @Sally'sLooming, or on Facebook if you search Sally's Looming, all one word, and you will find my group on there, and you can share your pictures of your finished creations and make requests on there too, or just simply comment under this box if there's anything else you'd like me to try and make for you, or you have any comments, which is why it's called a comments box, funnily enough. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed making him, and I'll see you next time. Bye!